PS6 is looking to come out somewhere near 2027, and a lot of people have been thinking whether or not to stick with their PS5, get a PS5 Pro, or wait until 2027 when we get ourselves a PlayStation 6. Now, the problem here is that it's felt like no time, but it's actually been almost 6 years since the release of the PlayStation 5 back in late 2020. Now, that was before the pandemic time, and a lot of people's lives in general were changing, and people were at home. They got to spend more time with their consoles, and in my personal opinion, I did really enjoy this console. Set aside all the hardware issues in terms of the consoles and the stick drift on the DualSense controllers and what have you, the console itself is a great console. What I don't think that was great about this was the PlayStation Plus aspect. I don't think it was really good value compared to something like Xbox Game Pass in terms of quality of games and for the price. But setting that aside, the PlayStation 5 was a great console for the current generation. Now, going into the next generation with the PlayStation 6 and the new potential hybrid console from Xbox set to release at around a staggering $1,300 Canadian price tag for a Windows/Xbox game console. It's going to be a direct competitor to the new Steam console as well. And alongside of this, I feel that personally, PlayStation has taken over the console gaming monopoly. Now, even though Xbox and Microsoft does own major game publishers like Activision, Bethesda, etc., but now with Sony's new acquisitions and how they are doing great in terms of the sales numbers, I feel that nowadays it's only really between Sony and Nintendo, just personally. Not to say that there won't be any great fans of Xbox, as I do know that there's a lot of people out there that still do enjoy Xbox games, but it is disheartening to see the exclusivity essentially vanish. Now we're getting Halo on PlayStation, we got Forza on PlayStation, and on almost every game that has been on Xbox in one time is now going to be released in the future variants on the PlayStation 5 and PC, to say. Now, the dilemma here is that gamers that want to get a new Xbox might just rethink and instead go for a custom built gaming PC, because now the only real competitor in the gaming space selling at a loss lead price is going to be PlayStation in terms of the quality of games. There is the Nintendo Switch too, but it fails in terms of the comparison and quality, not to say the fun, but in terms of the quality and the price of the console and what it can handle in terms of the games and the specs. The PS6 will be a great console. There's already rumored pricing at to be around $600 at launch, saying that this will be a great affordable console for the quality that you're going to be getting and the speeds. Let alone even nowadays with the base model PlayStation 5 that I have since 2020 is still running very solid on a full HD display. Now, nonetheless, if you want to upgrade your hardware in terms of like the desk setup, the monitor setup, and peripherals and what have you, and if you want to experience the best and the pinnacle of gaming, then you want to look no further to something like a custom built PC. But with a PS5, even nowadays, it is great on most setups, and the PS5 Pro gives it a slight advantage in terms of like the frame rates in some games and just the overall experience and smoothness. But with a PS6 set to release at a rumored price tag at around $600, you really can't go wrong in terms of upgrading your older PS5. Now, if you recently got a PS5 or PS5 Pro in the past 2 years or so, you are interested in getting into the PS6 when it does release, this console will last you a very, very long time. Also, official news from Sony declares that PlayStation Plus will now no longer access PS4 games starting in 2026, and majority of it will stick to just PS5 and PS6 games going forward in terms of the monthly free games. The game catalog is specifically separated, and that will be an extra premium to get access to that. And also, the worst part about it is that the PS Plus Premium is not also available in a lot of countries due to like gaming restrictions and etc., and in terms of like the legalities of that. So that is the unfortunate aspect of where Sony and PlayStation is heading. It has claimed a monopoly now, and it will take full advantage of that, because at the end of the day, for Sony's bottom line, they are a business and they're gonna squeeze every dollar that they can out of their consumers. That's just how all businesses do these days. You can compare it pretty similarly to something like Apple, and that is what Sony's going to be proceeding with forward, in my personal opinion. But what are your thoughts? Will you be upgrading to a not necessary upgrade, in my personal opinion, to the PS6, or are you going to be sticking with your PS5 and PS5 Pro? Because as a As a fan of PlayStation, I will definitely be getting a PS6, but in the back of my head, I will always be thinking that, you know, it's not deservedly needed. You know, if you have the money, go ahead and go for the upgrade, because it's going to be a great console nonetheless. But if you're still stuck on like older hardware, older monitors, and you just want to have fun with your console, PS5 should do just fine for even the next 4 or 5 years going into the future, maybe until even past 2030. Similar to what we've seen with the PS3 even nowadays. So that's been it. It's been your boy Optage. I'll catch you guys all in my next one. Goodbye.